Hello and welcome to another Diecast review. This time we're going to be taking a look at Bubba Wallace's 2021 Talladega race win, McDonald's Toyota, from the fall Talladega race. A really cool diecast, obviously. Bubba Wallace's first Cup Series win, and just a really cool piece of motorsports history in its own little way that I think everyone's very, very familiar with. With all that being said, though, a very good-looking diecast car that you can get from your local diecast dealer, Lionel Racing directly, or go to our friends at CircleBDiecast.com and make sure to use our code JTN at checkout to receive a discount on your shipping. We'll do a quick little turn of the car so you can see everything. This is actually, they ran two different McDonald's schemes last year on the 23 car. This is the second iteration of that scheme, so this was the only way that this version of the McDonald's car was produced in this race win version. And we'll get into some of the little aspects of this design that make it so unique, so cool, and really a step up from the original McDonald's design, because there are some couple little things that really work well with the McDonald's corporate branding. But if we move that to the side for a quick moment here, we'll put it off there to the back. Let's take a look at this race win card that you get with every single diecast. On the front, you got Bubba Wallace, Yellawood 500 winner, Talladega, October 3rd, 2021. On the back, you get a nice little description. The race took 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 24 seconds to complete. Wallace started 19th. Only 117 of the 188 laps were run for 311 miles. 5 cautions for 27 laps. Wallace led 5 to win, and the margin of victory, of course, this race ended under caution when the yellow flag came out for rain. It's always a good little thing to kind of talk about the way these races go down, and I think a thrilling finish that a lot of people kind of overlook because it ended up being a rain-shortened race. On the box, you can see 2021 race winner. There's a rendering of the diecast car on this side, your win box, so you got your little sticker. 2021 back NASCAR Cup Series. This, of course, again, the generic race win design box. On the bottom, actually, you have all of your general licensing agreements, and then this is a sticker that I have not noticed before, but just kind of going over some of the Toyota racing agreements, it looks like, and some of the trademarks that are specific to this car. McDonald's, of course, fast food companies in general, kind of have some different rules and regulations with their marketing now in the United States. So that's part of what that is my assumption. The 164 McDonald's cars, for example, starting this year, all come on base plates. Kind of similar to how an alcoholic beverage sponsored car would. So your Kevin Harvick Busch car, your Austin Cindric Keystone Light cars. But let's get into this diecast. Of course, it's a race win, so you got some scuff marks here and there. No confetti, because they did victory lane indoors, which is very unfortunate, because you always love to see the confetti on these cars. It's hard to see on the camera, but there is some tire speckling buildup. You can kind of see it a little bit. You can see where there's some little impurities in the yellow of the golden arches. You also can kind of see how this white here is a little bit darker than maybe some other parts of the car, because they have the little rubber detailing there and there. Some different things applied to the grill, so when they're putting different grill tape on, for example. If we go down to around to the side, you also have more of those rubber markings, your jack stopper. And then also some scratch marks, scuff marks, rather, right here above the right rear fender. You can see that one is very present. On top, you got the rest of that fry box design on the front with the 23 and McDonald's in very small text, but it is there. This is the standard version of the car, so the trunk does not open, which is very unfortunate, and we can get into that discussion in the comments below about the quality and prices of these cars. On the back, of course, it's a McDonald's. You saw this earlier when we did a little McDonald's, Toyota. You got your red McDonald's square that they've been using with their branding now, a black 23 And then on the right side, again, just some minor little rubber mark scuffs, the blackout around the exhaust. We can take you through some of the logos, too. Of course, you got your McDonald's on the side, DoorDash, Dr. Pepper, Columbia Athletic Wear, and Root Insurance. You also have these emojis that McDonald's has been using in their marketing and branding. There you see the Big Mac one, and Bubba Wallace's name, of course, there on the name rail. And, of course, a very, very cool die-cast car. On the front, of course, we talked about the golden arches, and then on the deck lid, the My McDonald's rewards. Yeah. It's not... so to kind of talk about some of the nuances of this paint scheme. The original paint scheme, this car, very different. It had kind of like a wing design here that kind of followed the body lines a little bit more. This design really cool. You can tell... And look there's our producer, Bristol, making an appearance in the form of his hair. But you got, like, the seeds, kind of like on your Big Mac bun or your Quarter Pounder bun there on the yellow. Again, that kind of it goes along with these marketing tools that they've been using. And then the front of the car is actually a fry box, right? You got all the french fries, which is just a really cool little design detail that I think really makes this McDonald's paint scheme a little more unique compared to some of the other ones we've seen over the years. Think back to Ross Chastain's McDonald's car from 2021, the Larson Kenseth car from the year prior. Just kind of the bland all red with a couple little golden arches here and there. Compare it to this. This is definitely a better design, a lot cooler, unique. And I think that's the biggest thing when you're trying to come up with designs for maybe some bigger legacy brands, like a McDonald's, like a Miller Lite, like a Busch, or at this point a FedEx. Having some unique paint schemes as you go to kind of signify the driver and the brand you're associating with are so important to give these teams and these numbers some identity. There's been a lot of conversation about how the identity now of the cars, more than ever, is the number, because the paint schemes are the same. Well, you can kind of argue that there are a lot of fans out there that are supporting their drivers because of the sponsor. Obviously, Kyle Busch with M&M's, that partnership, of course, coming to an end at the end of at the end of 2022, is the biggest one that comes to mind. But these brands and these sponsors, and when you're building a team, very, very important. With all that being said, though, I really like this car. I'm very, very happy to have it. I have too many cars right now to find a place to display this. But a very cool, very unique die-cast, of course, Bubba Wallace, first African-American driver to win a race since Wendell Scott back in the 60s. I don't know the exact year off the top of my head, but in a very long time. And followed that up earlier this year with the Kansas win, which I already got that one on pre-order too. But a really cool die-cast car. Definitely worth going and getting if you're a Wallace fan, if you're a TRD fan. If you're just a fan of racing history, it's definitely a unique collector's piece. Lionel, I think, did a great job capturing everything with this car. Despite, our gripes as collectors with maybe some of the quality and the differences in what's available on the product. Also forgot to mention they do have a decal there for the roof hatch. While, yes, there are some gripes with the quality of the product here, and kind of how that has downgraded as I bumped the camera over very badly, it's still a very good piece. This, of course, it's 2021, so it's before the price increases that came into 2022, the ones now going into 2023. So it's going to be a good piece to get if you're maybe looking at, you're balling on a little bit of a lower budget. With all that being said, though, remember you can go to our friends at CircleBDiecast.com if they still have these in stock. This did arrive a couple weeks ago now. I'm a little behind on these diecast reviews, but a very cool car nonetheless. With all that being said, though, folks, I can't thank you enough for watching this, taking the time to listen to me mumble about diecast cars. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe, comment down below what your thoughts on this diecast are, thoughts on the progress of 2311 Racing here in 2022, and how this win could be the genesis of the next the next great NASCAR team. Thank you folks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.